This video will go over the different program options available in PalmTech. To see the various program options, we need to open up the print settings screen. We can do that either by clicking on Settings down here on the left or by clicking on the print settings icon from the toolbar. Let's go ahead and click on the icon. We're now looking at the program settings screen. The first three items are all related to the screen font. Here we have the screen prompt font, the screen data font, and then a screen font size. Let's go ahead and make a couple changes here to see how this works. We'll change the screen prompt font by clicking on Select, and for the font we'll just select Arial, and we'll make it a little bit larger, so we'll change it to 20, and now we'll click on OK to see how it looks. And so like that, we see the font now has the Arial as well as the font size is a little bit larger. Let's go back to program options and continue looking at the settings. These next two options control where your inspection files are saved. The inspection files location is where your inspection files will be saved by default when you go to Save or Save As. By default, this is in the PalmTech 80 folder inside of your Documents folder. The archive location is where the program is going to store your archived inspections. PalmTech automatically creates a backup of all of your inspections and stores this backup in the archive location. Every time you save an inspection, it will save a copy of it in your inspections file location as well as your archive. You can change the location of either the inspection files or the archive location by clicking on the Locate button to the right of each of them. Next, we have a series of checkboxes under the Options section. Let's start with the left column. First, we have Auto Save File Between Categories. If this option is checked, then every time you switch categories in your inspection, PalmTech will automatically save your file. After that is a checkbox for Default to First Rating on Description Entry. This feature is a great way to save time with PalmTech. If this is checked, then if you fill out the description before you fill out the rating for a line, then the program will automatically select the first rating for that line. This can save you a lot of time by having your rating auto-filled out for items that are acceptable, or whatever your first rating is. This box is checked by default, but let's take a look at how it works. We'll go ahead, we're going to click on OK, and we're going to fill out one or two lines. And so you could, of course, come over here and fill out your rating first, but with this turned on, you can come out to the description, and if you simply select your description, the rating is going to automatically be filled out. What this allows you to do is for those items that are acceptable, fill out the description first, and then if you have an item that has an issue, you can simply fill out the rating first and then fill out your description. Let's go back to program options. Next, we have Let Programs Sort Drop-Down Lists. When this is checked, PalmTech will sort all of your drop-down lists with your three most commonly selected items at the top, and then it will have the rest of the items in the list in alphabetical order after that. If you want to sort your list on your own, simply uncheck this box. It's important to note that this automatic list sorting is only available on the PC version of the PalmTech, and that all the list sorting that happens on the app is manual. Next, we have an option for Show Ratings Individually. If this is checked, then instead of having a drop down for your ratings, you're going to have a series of circles to select from. Checking this option will not impact the way the printed report looks. So let's go ahead and check this option and see how this works. So we'll click on OK, and as you can see for your ratings, instead of having that drop down, you simply have a series of circles with the abbreviations for each of them at the top. And so this allows you to work your way through. It's important to note that this option for having the ratings displayed like this only works on the PC and is not available on the app. We'll go back to program options. We're going to uncheck that, and now we're going to come over here to the next option, which is Allow Entry of Cost Estimates. When this option is checked, you'll have the option to enter a cost to repair or replace on each line item. For more information on how cost estimates work, watch the video titled Using Cost Estimates. Next, we have Don't Prompt for Add to List. If this option is checked, then the program will no longer prompt you to add an item to one of your description drop-down lists when you type something in that's not already in the list. After that, we have Don't Prompt to Set Defaults. When you start a new inspection, you have the option to be prompted to set default descriptions for that inspection. If this option is checked, which it is by default, then that option won't appear. The final checkbox is for autocomplete text entries, and this is only available on the desktop. If this is checked, the program will complete an item in your description box with an entry from your library after you've entered the initial letter. This is case sensitive. Below all of our checkboxes, we have an option for screen image size. This option allows you to change the size that pictures show up on the input screen after they've been added to the report. Below this, we have a spot for our username and then our password, and this is what you've received from PalmTech to be able to use the PalmTech Cloud Drive. Both the username and the password are case sensitive and must be entered exactly the way they appear in the email you receive from PalmTech. To the right of this, we have a button for test. Test is a helpful option that lets you test to make sure the username and password you've entered are correct, as well as to test whether or not you have an active internet connection and one that PalmTech can access. Above that, we have Reset License. And Reset License allows you to get your license information from your cloud drive and have it go to the PC that you're working on. This is very helpful if you get a new PC and you want to get your license onto it. The Import v7 Data button allows you to import your information from version 7 of PalmTech into version 8. This only works if you have version 7 of PalmTech on this computer that you're using version 8 on, and it has the information you want in it. You click on this, then it'll walk you through the import process of getting all your templates and your drop-downs into version 8. Here in the lower left corner, we have the option for Change Email Template. This option gives you the ability to change the text that appears in your email by default when you create a PDF in PalmTech and then tell the program to email it. To the right of this, we have a button for Cost Estimate Settings. You can click on this to change the settings associated with cost estimates if that's something you use. Lastly, we have Default Image Size. This is where you can change the size that pictures you add in are added in into your report by default. This concludes the video on program options.